So, and what does Cleveland have? Absolutely nothing. How does Shedeur Sanders make the Pro Bowl with just 5 games in the National Football League? Answer that.
You tell me.
How does a guy make the Pro Bowl with just 5 games or 6 games as a starter? I haven't seen anyone else earn the right to be that but him. And he hasn't played enough and haven't given him enough chances to be on the football field. And when he's on the football field, they feel better. They look better.
Do y'all have the guy? Is Shedeur the guy?
That's what we're looking at as a guy. We're going to give him a shot to prove that he's a guy. So that we're not going to give anyone that title until they go out there and earn it. And he was the last person to be on the field, and he showed some flashes. So we're going to give him an opportunity to show what he can really do, uncork the ball.
What has Shedeur done that convinces you that he should be?
The team believes differently.
You can tell while you're watching?
His energy is different. His swag is different. His level of confidence is different. And notice I said confidence. I didn't say nothing about arrogance. His level of confidence is different. And so he believes that he has the ability to do it. He's not walking out there thinking that, can I do it? Or do I have the possibility to do it? No, I'm gonna make it happen. That's the way he's approaching it.
The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation has been an absolute nightmare for years. We're talking about a franchise that has cycled through more quarterbacks than most teams go through offensive coordinators. It's been embarrassing, it's been frustrating, and for Browns fans, it's been downright painful to watch. But something shifted this past season. Something changed when Shedeur Sanders stepped onto that field in Cleveland. And now, one of the greatest running backs in NFL history just went nuclear defending him. Emmitt Smith didn't just casually mention Shedeur Sanders. He didn't give some politically correct, vanilla take that you'd expect from a former player trying to stay neutral. No, the all-time leading rusher in NFL history absolutely destroyed anyone questioning whether Shedeur Sanders should be the Browns' starting quarterback in 2026. Let's break down why this matters and why Emmitt's passionate defense of Shedeur might be the most important endorsement the young quarterback has received. Cleveland has been searching for their franchise quarterback since they returned to the NFL in 1999. That's over 2 decades of mediocrity, false hope, and crushed dreams. They thought Baker Mayfield was the answer. He wasn't. They mortgaged their entire future for Deshaun Watson, giving him a fully guaranteed $230 million contract. That's been one of the most catastrophic decisions in NFL history. Watson has barely played. When he has played, he's been a shell of his former self. The Browns are stuck with his $46 million cap hit for 1 more year, and they can't escape it. It's a financial quicksand. So when Shedeur Sanders arrived in Cleveland and actually showed flashes of being a legitimate NFL quarterback, people started paying attention. The problem? The usual suspects started with their tired narratives. He's just Deion's son. He's only popular because of social media. He hasn't proven anything. It's all hype. That's when Emmitt Smith stepped in and said enough is enough. During his appearance on Media Row, Emmitt didn't hold back. When asked about Shedeur's situation in Cleveland, the Hall of Famer went on what can only be described as a masterclass in why Shedeur Sanders deserves to be the starting quarterback.
That he should be.
The team believes differently.
You can tell while you're watching?
His energy is different. His swag is different. His level of confidence is different. And notice I said confidence. I didn't say nothing about arrogance. His level of confidence is different. And so he believes that he has the ability to do it. He's not walking out there thinking that, can I do it? Or do I have the possibility to do it? No, I'm gonna make it happen.
This is massive because Emmitt isn't just talking about stats or measurables. He's talking about leadership. He's talking about that intangible quality that separates franchise quarterbacks from career backups, that presence, that belief, that ability to make everyone around you better just by stepping into the huddle. And Emmitt knows what championship leadership looks like. He won 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. He played with Troy Aikman, one of the most composed quarterbacks in NFL history. Emmitt understands what it takes to lead at the highest level, and he sees that in Shedeur Sanders. But here's where it gets really interesting. Emmitt went even deeper into why Shedeur's background makes him uniquely qualified to handle the pressure of being Cleveland's starting quarterback.
I've known Shedeur since he was a kid, and I watched him grow. I know his training, I know his background, and I know where he comes from. He comes from a line of championships. That's the way I would look at it, and years of experience at that position. He was trained that way, and he grew up with understanding how to play the quarterback position from a guy that played in the National Football League.
This is the point everyone keeps missing. Shedeur Sanders didn't just start playing football in college. He's been groomed for this moment his entire life. While other kids were playing Madden, Shedeur was getting coached by Deion Sanders, learning NFL-level concepts, understanding defensive coverages, developing that mental processing speed that elite quarterbacks need. People want to use his father against him, like it's somehow a negative that he had access to world-class coaching from birth. That's insane. That's like criticizing someone for having too much preparation. In what world is that a bad thing? Emmitt makes it crystal clear. Shedeur's pedigree isn't a liability, it's his greatest asset. And then Emmitt delivered the knockout punch to all the critics when he was asked directly if he would name Shedeur the starter.
I haven't seen anyone else earn the right to be that but him.
Short, direct, unambiguous. No hedging, no, well, we need to see more, or it depends on the situation. Just a flat-out endorsement from a football legend who knows what excellence looks like. But wait, there's more. Because Emmitt didn't just defend Shedeur's talent, he also called out the absurdity of the Pro Bowl selection that critics tried to use against him. Someone brought up how Shedeur made the Pro Bowl with limited playing time, trying to frame it as a popularity contest rather than merit-based recognition. Emmitt flipped the script entirely.
Oh, I know how. It's ticket sales. It's ticket sales. It's merchandising. That's how they do it. Oh, my bad.
Was Emmitt being sarcastic? Maybe. But here's the thing. Even if popularity played a role, so what? You know who else sells tickets? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. The best quarterbacks in the league are also the most popular. That's not a coincidence. Fans gravitate towards excellence and entertainment, and Shedeur provides both. The fact that Shedeur can generate that level of fan engagement while also performing on the field is exactly what Cleveland needs. The Browns haven't had a quarterback who excited the fan base in years. They've had serviceable game managers and expensive busts. That's it. Now, let's talk about what Myles Garrett said, because this is where things get really interesting.
Do y'all have the guy? Is Shedeur the guy?
That's what we're looking at as a guy. We're going to give him a shot to prove that he's a guy. So that we're not going to give anyone that title until they go out there and earn it. And he was the last person to be on the field, and he showed some flashes. So we're going to give him an opportunity to show what we can really do, uncork the ball.
Garrett didn't say they need to draft someone. He didn't say they're bringing in a veteran. He said they're giving Shedeur an opportunity. That's significant because Myles Garrett doesn't waste words. He's one of the most dominant defensive players in football, and he's seen enough quarterbacks come through Cleveland to know what works and what doesn't. If he's open to Shedeur leading this team, that tells you everything you need to know about what's happening in that locker room. The ESPN analysts on the panel picked up on this too. They had a whole discussion about what Cleveland should do at quarterback, and the consensus was clear. One analyst broke it down perfectly, acknowledging the messy reality Cleveland faces.
Yeah, I think it's way too early to call this one.
And I think that's the challenge. You look at what's in Cleveland, and people will say, well, why don't they trade, for an example, like Kyler Murray? You just mentioned Deshaun Watson's contract. Right. So, going to get another guy that was a starter on another team.
That's the nightmare scenario Cleveland is trying to avoid. They're already drowning in Watson's contract. They can't afford to compound that mistake by bringing in another expensive veteran who might not even be the answer. The smart play is to develop the talent they already have, and that talent is Shedeur Sanders. Another analyst made the case even stronger when discussing how Shedeur should enter the offseason.
They have in their quarterback room makes the most sense. And I would assume when you start the offseason program, day one, Shedeur Sanders would be the guy that takes reps as the starting quarterback. Does that mean a lot when you have months to go and preparing for the upcoming season? Probably not. But I think he's earned the right.
Earned the right. Those are the key words. This isn't about giving Shedeur Sanders anything because of his name or his father. This is about recognizing what he's accomplished on the field. He earned his way from being 4th or 5th on the depth chart with 0 reps in OTAs to being in position to be the Week 1 starter. That's not luck. That's not hype. That's performance. The analysts also pointed out something crucial. Cleveland has bigger problems than just quarterback. Their offensive line needs work. Their defense has questions with the coaching change under Jim Schwartz. This is a team that needs a full rebuild, and you don't rebuild by constantly churning through quarterbacks.
Maybe just a reboot year in Cleveland?
Yeah, they've probably time to take a step back and
slow the thing down.
And rebuild.
Slow it down a little
Maybe
bit.
accept.
That's the hard truth Browns fans don't want to hear, but it's reality. This team isn't one player away from contending. They need to commit to a direction and stick with it. And that direction should be Shedeur Sanders as the franchise quarterback moving forward. But here's where the Cleveland situation gets complicated. They're still on the hook for Deshaun Watson's contract. They can't just cut him without massive financial consequences. So they're looking at a quarterback room with Watson, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and potentially a draft pick if they decide to go that route. That's a mess, but it's a mess that Shedeur created through his own merit. He forced his way into this conversation by playing well when given the chance. The Browns didn't plan on him being a viable option this quickly. He made it impossible to ignore him. Emmitt Smith sees this situation clearly. He understands that Cleveland is at a crossroads. They can either commit to the young quarterback who has shown promise and has the mental makeup to succeed, or they can continue the cycle of mediocrity by hedging their bets and running some chaotic three-way quarterback competition. The smart move is obvious. Name Shedeur the starter. Build around him. Give him the weapons and the offensive line support he needs to succeed. Stop overthinking it. But this is Cleveland we're talking about. They've been overthinking the quarterback position for 25 years. Old habits die hard. What makes Emmitt's endorsement so powerful is that it's not coming from someone with a vested interest in Shedeur's success. Emmitt doesn't work for the Browns. He's not Shedeur's agent. He's just a Hall of Fame player who has watched enough football to recognize when someone has the tools to be special. The Browns need to stop being scared of making a decision and commit to their future. Shedeur Sanders has earned the right to be their starting quarterback. Emmitt Smith knows it. Myles Garrett seems to know it. The national analysts covering the team know it. The question is whether the Browns' front office and coaching staff have the courage to embrace it. Because here's the reality. Cleveland is running out of time. They've wasted a decade and a half searching for a quarterback. They've burned through draft picks, free agents, and ridiculous contracts. They've disappointed one of the most loyal fan bases in professional sports year after year after year. Shedeur Sanders represents hope. He represents a different path forward. And when a legend like Emmitt Smith goes out of his way to defend him and advocate for him, that should tell you everything you need to know. This isn't about hype. This isn't about social media followers or famous last names. This is about recognizing talent, character, and preparation when you see it. Emmitt Smith sees it. Myles Garrett sees it. The analysts breaking down the tape see it. Do the Browns? The clock is ticking. The offseason is here. Decisions need to be made. And if Cleveland fumbles this opportunity, if they let Shedeur Sanders slip through their fingers because they're too busy trying to justify the Deshaun Watson disaster or chasing some mythical sure thing in the draft, they'll regret it for the next decade.
Emmitt Smith just laid out the blueprint for success. The national media just confirmed what everyone watching knows to be true. Now it's time for the Browns to follow it, because champions recognize champions, and Emmitt Smith sees a champion in Shedeur Sanders. The only question is, does Cleveland